The chairman of Fiji Airways, the CEO, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, gives me much pleasure to be here. This, of course, has been a vision of government to create centers of excellence in Fiji and to be able to take advantage of our hub status, both geographically speaking and also as a developed state in the Pacific context. Ladies and gentlemen, we already have in Fiji, in Suva, the Fiji Maritime Academy. Through the groundbreaking ceremony here today, we will, in about 18 months' time, have the Fiji Aviation Academy. And again, this goes towards thinking laterally, thinking outside the box, and also being able to understand that we in Fiji, if we are to progress economically, to ensure that we have sustainability of jobs, to be able to create more jobs, we need to be part and parcel of, from a simple perspective, the value chain. We need to be able to own the value chain. You simply cannot run an airline and just have pilots and expect those pilots, for example, to be trained somewhere else, because you're then dependent on third parties to actually provide the training for you, and you actually have to be beholden to their whims and fancies. And as the CEO highlighted, to their time slots in this particular instance. So by investing in this particular academy, as the CEO has highlighted, we will be able to ensure that we not only provide the services to our people, develop Fijian pilots who can actually be trained in Fiji, do not have to go offshore, and therefore Fiji Airways, it's in their interest to have that supply of internationally certified, internationally trained pilots in Fiji, but also then to be able to take advantage of the fact that we'll offer this service to other island countries, and also even countries like Australia, New Zealand, various other countries that may actually want to send the pilots for training over here. Because as per international standards, every 6 months they need to come to the simulator school. They need to get upgraded, their skills upgraded. So we have an added advantage. We have good infrastructure, we are developing infrastructure. This 4-lane road has not been built because we simply wanted a 4-lane road. There's actually an economic analysis behind it. We are putting in various other infrastructure in Nandi. The airport is being upgraded. We are competitively priced in terms of the properties we offer, in terms of the rates we offer for our labor rates, and therefore it makes Fiji an attractive proposition. If you are able to, for example, offer the same simulator course in Fiji, and if you compare it to Singapore, you look at the cost base of going to Singapore for 2 weeks, if you look at the cost base of coming to Fiji for 2 weeks, one would obviously choose Fiji. And we therefore need to ensure, as mentioned yesterday, that all of us work together as partners. It's not just the responsibility of Fiji Airways or the Maritime Academy, but every single person that's involved in the industry, that's involved not just in aviation, but also the tourism sector and the hotels, etc., to be able to come together to ensure that we offer Fiji as a product, not just of excellence, but as a product of value, and a product of value that offers a particular point of difference. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank, of course, the CEO and the chair and the board for being receptive to the government's vision of creating Fiji into a hub and working very hard. Of course, none of this is possible without proper structures in place, without proper planning in place. And sometimes these things may take a bit longer in the upfront end, where you need to plan better, but once you get the plan right, once you get the structure right, then it's up and running very, very quickly. I'd like to, of course, thank the consultants who are here, who have been doing a lot of the groundwork, and of course the partners, CAE, who are here. We look forward to working with them. It's a very exciting time in Fiji overall, but particularly also exciting in the civil aviation sector. As announced yesterday, we'll be flying to Japan, we're increasing the frequency to other destinations. It means that we are improving and expanding the footprint of Fiji Airways, our national carrier, but it also at home means sustainability of jobs and indeed creation of jobs, literally hundreds of jobs, even just for flight attendants. So there's enormous opportunities being created. I'd like to, of course, acknowledge the presence of CAF and AFL here. I'd like to say this publicly too. Organizations like CAF need to also get with what is happening internationally. They need to think outside the box. They need to look at how other premier destinations of aviation are dealing with the ICAO standards. They need to be a lot more visionary in the way they think about it, as opposed to being quite an impediment to the growth of the aviation industry. And we hope that the chair and her board, and also including the personnel of ARCAF, need to think along those lines. I'd like to, of course, thank AFL too. AFL provides the gateway to Fiji, and the upgrade, of course, that we see that's taking place at the airport. They, of course, are the head lessors of this land, and they have struck an arrangement. Fiji Airways, of course, is paying them money for it. They need to, because they're a limited liability company, both of them. But the fact that they came together to be able to offer this in collaboration. It's, of course, a wonderful site too. As you know, the Namaka Strip is now developing very much into a sort of a commercial and financial hub of Nandi itself. And I'm sure the CEO will tell you later on about the actual aesthetics about having this simulator school here, how people will be able to view it from the road. It creates the overall ambience of the place and lends it to a sense of professional environment, an environment that we must all look after and care for. So thank you once again to the Fiji Airways team and the various professionals who are here with us. Thank you for your time, and of course we look forward to the opening of the Civil Aviation Academy in early 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, all of this is only possible, if I could say lastly, in a consistency of policies and in having plans and a vision for the economy and for various sectors in the long term, the 5, 10, 15-year plans. And this is what we actually focused on, which actually fits in very well with the National Development Plan that we launched in Bonn in Germany, and how we all need to be up to speed with the changes that are taking place internationally and domestically, whether it's about climate change, whether it's about reducing carbon footprint, and whether indeed it is about putting in place plans for the future. Thank you very much, and I wish you a good morning. Thank you.
It was the rain that just popped from the...
Oh, really? I thought somebody was softening the ground.
No, we would never do that. As you know, so in case you happen across come across some metal on the ground, so please don't mind. If I ask the Honourable Minister, Chairman, CEO, you have...
Okay.
Can we give them a big round of applause, please?
With the barbell.
Thank you.